Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, Time is But a Window. Today we are going to be overwatching FLUSHA, but not just any game with FLUSHA. This is DreamHack of 2014, back at his peak of accusations. Anyways, I just wanted to say that I am a little bit sick today. So, ooh, peeks. You see someone pushing him. But anyways, like I was saying, I am a little bit sick today. So if I sound a little bit nasally, it's because I got strep throat and you know, whatever. I'm on antibiotics. I should be fine in a couple days. But for now, bear with me. Anyways, FLUSHA is headed back towards B again. His team was able to take that first round, even though he got picked off pretty quickly. And you can see he's sitting here. He hears footsteps. Gonna throw a flashbang. Makes his way back over here towards middle. Trying to see if he's looking at anyone through walls. He is pretty sure of those guys pushing, I think. But doesn't look like he's really staring at anyone at this point. One guy is going to come from middle. Jumps. And does quite a bit of damage to him, but it definitely looked like he was caught off guard right there. And that's Kaio King right there. And if you guys remember Kaio, you'll remember the whole thing about him. Alright guys, well we're here on the third round, and so far there hasn't been too much incriminating evidence against him. That being said, one guy on the other team was actually vaxxed. Shortly after this game, actually. He's able to take out Shocks. One more there, by that wall. Kinda just shoots the corner there. You can feel him there. No. He's just spamming areas, it looks like. But there is that guy up close to that left wall. Looks like he's not going to go after him, though. Going to be making his way over here towards the A site, which his team has already pretty much taken over. He's got a flashbang. And he's just actually holding the flank. As you can see, his job isn't really to make many of the picks. It's kind of to hold the opposite angles. But here he was boosted in middle, and he's just taking control of this small area. His teammate's going to peek out, and he's watching towards the Z connector. Now he actually comes off of it. It's creeping up here. So, probably look down Speedway, and he sees one, two, takes a couple shots, but isn't able to connect with either of them. Meanwhile, his teammate is able to kill. Ooh, he's able to get a guy at quad box. There is one more guy over there. Last guy. He's going to peek out, he's going to see him, and he's going to be able to take him down. Again, at this point, it is not looking too bad for him. We have seen him do shady shit in the past. I mean, I'm sure that everyone's seen a lot of the little clips that of his aim locking and such. But as of right now, I'm going to say that this isn't too bad, especially considering I thought there would be a lot more to it since he did get so many kills. He's going to boost his teammates up here in middle. They get a pick, and he's going to watch the B push. Now there is one guy pushing B, and he's actually going to hide on this corner. Comes out and shoots him. Really good timing on that. That was a little suspicious, wasn't it? Not overly so, though. Gonna push all the way through to tree and watch by truck. The last guy is flanking around them. Might actually just save that P250, but we'll see. In their spawn right now. Really, Fnatic is just absolutely dominating this. I believe at this time these were the number 1 and 2 teams. Alright, here you can see on the 5th round, FLUSHA and his teammates are making their way over towards the A site. Looks like he's going to attempt to boost someone up. Boost 2 guys up at the same time. That fire's going off, but one guy just goes right through it and gets killed in the middle. He's going to spam the door in mid, and they're going to make their way back over here towards the A site. There was a deep nade. One guy on top of that box. Doesn't seem like he knew he was there originally until he shot at his teammate. One guy is pushing through the smoke. He's watching this little opening in it. He gets a kill. And look at that, right through that smoke. He definitely heard that shot. That was still pretty impressive. And he's able to take out that third guy as well. And they end up salvaging that round that started off looking pretty bad for them. Now, FLUSHA over here is making his way over towards the B site this time. Olaf is right next to him. Just aimed right on that guy, straight through that smoke, huh? So just timing. Again, guys, the point of these is to look at the evidence. I can't actually convict in these demos because they're not true Overwatches. But we can look at them and especially compare it to his current playstyle, which I will actually do, is get a newer demo of him so that we can see how his playstyle has changed. But as you can see, this guy is pretty shady as far as the pro players go when it comes to smokes and such. Typically does have his crosshair on people. Game sense, awareness, could be that, could be something else. But I really think that at the end of the day, we just can look at these things, compare, and look at that. He aims on the guy, knows exactly when the guy's in that spot. The timings on that is just incredible. And is that coincidental? Maybe. But he is one of the shadiest players I have ever seen. Now, by no means am I saying that guarantees that he's cheating. I mean, he has gone to many LAN tournaments. He's never been detected, never been vacked, never been seen using anything by any of the refs or event organizers, spectators. But he is fun to watch. Alright, so he's got 8 kills, 159 damage around, and he's going to be making his way back over here towards the B site. His timing is very good, look at that. He's trying to shoot at the wall. Seriously, if I saw this guy in an Overwatch, ooh, that looked like an aim lock, didn't it, on that guy in mid? Again, what I'm going to do, guys, this is 2014 DreamHack FLUSHA. I want to show you guys a modern FLUSHA and show you how different his playstyle is now. Was he using something back then? I don't know. Is he using something now? I don't know. But from the evidence, you're going to see that he definitely seems to be a little bit more aim locky in these older games. Alright, so here we can see FLUSHA's headed towards the B site again. And if you guys haven't checked out my other Pro Overwatch series videos, please check out like Fallen, Shocks, and those others to compare them. Because honestly, while Fallen does some pretty shady stuff, he's also got incredible reaction time and incredible aim. And FLUSHA's not as impressive when it comes to those kind of things, but when it comes to his knowledge of where people are, it is just impeccable. This is why he's a top player. He definitely knows where he believes people are, legitimate or not. He seems to know exactly where people are, and this is why he was such an amazing strat caller. He always seemed to know exactly what to do. He's able to take that guy out. It wasn't too shady right there. He knew the guy was going to try to peek out again, even though that smoke came up. He was just going to spam that spot regardless, I'm sure. Going to smoke off CT spawn tree area. And looks like he's going to make his way through that smoke. Look at the timing though. I mean, he knows that Kyo's not there. Maybe he heard the footsteps of him leaving. Last guy is at quad box, or there's 2 guys left on CT team, but there is a guy at quad box. And he tries to spray his sides, hoping that he'll peek out, but he doesn't peek out. Definitely knew he was there. He could feel him. FLUSHA is one of those players that definitely plays by feel if he's not using cheats, right? So FLUSHA and his teammates are making their way back over here towards the B site. They seem to be going heavy on that. Right now the score is 7-1. Guy by that wall. Actually, it's something that I don't pay enough attention to. I'm going to start spamming that with an AWP a little more often. That's another thing about watching pro games, is that you can learn things. Okay, he's gonna plant the bomb. And the last two CTs have a P250 and an M4. The guy with the P250 goes down, the guy with the M4 is gonna try to save. Flashbang comes in, he's gonna push through. Now he's peeking inside here, and he gets caught off guard by the guy on top of the container. Top of the tool shed, tool box. I don't know what that thing's called. Alright, so here we can see FLUSHA is changing it up, making his way back over to the box. He's going to boost someone up again. They like to do that double boost, and this time it's actually a triple boost. Guy does seem to be pushing A, but it doesn't look like anyone is actually watching it. He's going to come back around though. Checks everything. The guy A decided not to push it. He's actually watching Speedway. One guy is pushing B. He aims on the guy right through the wall before coming out. Now, is that coincidental? Probably. That last one, that's a pretty normal angle. Pushing through the smoke, he's able to get that guy. And one guy left. Coming from middle. Will he actually go for anything? That does have a 1v5, so I can't imagine him actually trying to go for anything more than trying to get a gun and run away. FLUSHA is a shady player, I'm not gonna lie. He does, especially back in these days, he did look like he was using something occasionally. It seemed like his awareness was just definitely on point. Even there, you could see the guy in the middle, he just kind of looked at him through the wall for a moment. But that being said, it could also be coincidental. It could also be because of footsteps. There's a lot of things that could be causing it. But something about his playstyle, just the way that he looks at walls as much as he does, and his impeccable sprays through smokes, and his straight up amazing game awareness. And the combination of all those make this player look incredibly suspicious. So here he's pushed up into checkers. I'm going to throw a smoke here to block off the vent. Peeks in towards the site. He's able to do some damage to one of them, but he doesn't realize that there's two guys in sight. When he peeks out, gets taken out. So FLUSHA is making his way over towards the B site. This is one of his two roles, it seems. One of them he makes the boost, and the other one he always comes over here. Taking some spam shots into the smoke. Pretty typical spam spot right there. Nothing too shady about this. I'm gonna throw a flashbang. And yeah, he's pretty much just kind of holding here. Check the main entrance, check the checkers room. I do know that when he came out and checked the main entrance, it did look like he was right on the guy. One guy making his way into vent on his team, so they're going to be able to, well, I guess they're not going to go for it. But if he had come out, he could have made this guy by box come out, throws a Molotov on him, checks over to the right of checkers for a moment, and he backs off of it. Alright, well, one guy is over by the truck, and he's watching into the site. Meanwhile, FLUSHA hides back away and watches the flank. Two guys are taking the site from the truck, while one guy's making his way through mid. His teammate goes down, he's going to have to come back towards the site to help defend it. It's a 2v3 right now. Heard the bomb. Guy on top of the thing, guy up close. And that close actually takes him down, but he does leave his teammate in a great situation, and he's going to win the round. So we have seen FLUSHA do a couple interesting things, especially earlier on in this game. And really, it just seems like he's got incredible awareness. And when you have awareness this good, and you just kind of read the game as well as him, it does look shady. But does that mean he isn't cheating? I don't know, honestly. Like I said, he is by far, during this period of time, he was by far the shadiest player in all of Counter-Strike. So here we can see him out in A main. He's listening for footsteps. Keeps looking over towards the left a little bit. I don't know if he's just trying to get, like, you know, audio, trying to figure out where the person's at, just listening, being like, okay, it's a little louder, it's a little quieter. But look at him, he looks right over at the walls. It's really weird that he does that. In the way that he does. I mean, a lot of players will turn towards a wall, but the way that he does it particularly is just like, what? Alright, so Flush is making his way over towards the B site. And he's got JW with him. One guy making his way up towards Heaven. I'm gonna throw a nade in the site. Not really watching it, but he is hiding from it pretty well with that smoke. There's a flashbang up there. There's another one. His teammate does get taken out with the bomb. Kind of puts him in a little harder situation. He's fighting this guy in Heaven. Does a bit of damage to him. He knows there's a guy up close to the left here. He could definitely hear him. But instead he's just going to push through the smoke. But he gets taken out trying to get through that smoke. Alright, so this leaves the game at 10-4, which is a really good first half. They're making their way over here towards the B site. He's going to be doing a set smoke. Or set flash, and I thought he was doing a smoke. But he's doing 2 flashes. Flashing over into the site. They come out. They're able to take control of the site. Guy over here, got a forklift, he's able to take him down. He's going to give him a free AWP if he wants to be aggressive enough to get it, but he's not going for it. One guy is flanking, and one guy is coming from truck. He's going to come up on top of this thing. He spots him out, and does some damage to him, but isn't quite able to finish him off. His teammate is, however. I wouldn't say there's anything too suspicious on that round. And here we go to start the second half. They won the first half 11-4, and seems to be holding over here towards the B site. Doesn't seem like, well, any terrorists are technically pushing up here. There is one watching it incredibly passively, just in case he tries to push through or he makes some footsteps. But other than that, it looks like the main action is going to be over at A. Flush is just holding here, waiting. With our X-ray, we can't see anyone on our screen, so I imagine he can't see anyone on his if he's using any kind of wall hack or vision assistance. Either way, he's going to start rotating over. Calls from his team have come in. One guy's going to be making his way over here to the truck. Throws a flash and he kind of dodges around it at like the best possible timing. Gets taken out there pretty quickly by Smiths, who did just lose that pistol round, so now he's going to be making his way over towards middle with a P250 in hand. Throws a flashbang in the checkers. And there is one guy working his way into sight. One guy right underneath the vent. Alright, well, he's spotted out a couple guys. He is concerned about mid still. I think they're just going to be trying to save his teammates' scouts. Maybe his P250. You know, it's a 5v5 still. So, you know, it's a full save, I guess you could say. In the greatest sense of the word, because usually, you know, at least one person will die on a save round like this. But they're doing what they do. Giving him the sight, and just kind of holding and waiting. Alright, and with that round out of the way, they still have their guns, and gotten a little extra currency. And honestly, that was a pretty good save, because now they don't have to buy anything, and this round is all profit. And FLUSHA is going to be coming over here towards the A site. Looks like a bunch of them are stacking up A main. He's actually making his way towards middle real quickly. Jumps out, peeks. Doesn't really see anyone. One guy by door, takes a couple shots. Kind of followed that guy a little bit through that smoke and through that forklift, but I think that was just him trying to get into position. Comes out, knows exactly where that guy is, and tries to take him down, but isn't able to. Alright, so FLUSHA is going to be making his way over here towards the B site. Nice little strafe jump into the site. And now he's on top of a box. He's going to boost his teammate up. And he's going to peek in through the glass over there. Another smoke gets dropped. He's going to start rotating off. Making his way here towards mid. And actually not going to even attempt to peek that. He can just come over to A. Throw a deep flashbang for his teammates. One of them, JW, was on rafters for a moment, starts rotating back over towards mid. And I think they've heard some footsteps. I think they know that they're going to be rotating back over to the B site. Or at least they're faking that they are. Bomb, you can see, is in mid. One guy still in A main. But FLUSHA is actually going to rotate all the way back over towards B. The way he walks is so weird. He always just stares at the walls. I don't know, like I said, if that's because he gets audio cues, you know, he can tell, pinpoint directions and locations better, or if it means that he's using something else. I can't imagine someone could just straight up use a visual assistance at a LAN tournament, though. Though, who knows how it was in 2014. He comes out, definitely thought his teammate was a bad guy there. You can see that he was completely caught off guard by those players. FLUSHA's making his way towards mid. He's going to throw a smoke grenade. One guy, two out middle. Nice flashbang. They will take them both down. JW is able to take down two of them. Last guy's in sight, and he dinks him. That was really good timing on that, but I think that he threw that flash based upon a call from his teammate. Maybe from footsteps, but probably a call from his teammate. I'm gonna throw a nade here over towards B. Holding for a moment. Now, as you can see, Smiths and Shocks are sitting right outside, just kind of waiting. Smiths looks like he might actually try to peek this. Throws a flashbang, and FLUSHA gets him a little bit through the smoke. Now, does that mean he's cheating? No, I mean, that was pretty typical. The smoke came up, the flashbang came up. Probably figured the guy was going to try to cross. Just took a couple shots. Hope to get a kill.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire.
He's gonna push through here. Making his way towards middle with a flashbang out, which I would have thought is a terrible idea, but hey, you know. He's gonna run into a guy here. Definitely knew he was coming before the other guy knew he was there, that's for sure. We did Shocks in the last one, and Shocks did not look too suspicious at all. Alright, here we see FLUSHA back in middle again. One guy is he was boosted. FLUSHA's now spamming that spot. Kyo's a little bit to the right of that though. Smoke grenade's gonna come in. Just kind of checking for the boost, checking for the guy that's jumping up on top of the truck, seeing if anyone tries to spot them out. One guy is jumping on top of the truck, trying to jump up and see what he can see. Not like trying to jump up for any attack purpose, but he was just kind of jumping to see if he could see anything over that box. Now they got a guy boosted. FLUSHA has Well, that would have been a really good timing for that, but he did kind of screw it up. So one guy came out middle. He checked it for a second, and he actually is backing off of it, coming towards A. Feels like he doesn't really know that they're out there.
Deploying flashbang.
He's able to take this guy down with a headshot. One more at the corner. And yeah, they get that round. Score is 15-7. I imagine this next round might be the last one for this map. Still though, let's go over the things that we have seen. We have seen some parts where it looked like he was aim locking on people through walls. He was definitely looking at walls a lot. Remember when he was over at the A site and I was talking about how he was looking at the walls and going from one target to the other and from one target to the other. So weird that he was doing that. I mean, he is Shady. They're making their way over towards the A site. And he's going to start rotating. His teammates have already called it out, I'm sure. They're actually able to take it over with technology. Flashbang comes in. Does some damage to this guy over by truck. One guy is up on top here. And he's just taken out. Looks like it's not the last round, guys. Alright, so the score is 15-8, and he is making his way back in here towards middle. He's got a nade in hand. He throws it over the boost box. And he's able to take out one guy that boosts up on top of it. Spamming straight through that door right there. It's actually a spam spot, so that's not too suspicious. I spam that with an AWP all the time and get killed. Krims is doing work. And there's another guy up close here. FLUSHA does some damage to him. But actually they get taken out. We're going to watch this last round because it is a 2v1. And, well, even though the part with FLUSHA is over with, he's just kind of holding here. I think he heard some footsteps. He's watching for the cross. Sees him. Boom, headshot. And the round is over. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think of FLUSHA back in 2014. He was pretty shady in a lot of those situations, especially early on in the game. I want to also remind you guys the next Pro Overwatch will also be of FLUSHA, but this time in 2016, so we can compare it and see if he's changed any. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next video.